work so hard all day and night that you fail to notice your retirement closing in. Well, I think it is every worker's dream to finally earn the one thing important to them other than earning, which is retiring. After years of working on a laborious job, you might be thinking that you deserve the freedom to spend on luxurious vacations or buy the things you wanted for so long, but your retirement money might not be enough to accommodate all these fantasies. If you have less than $10,000 in your bank account, then you might want to reconsider your retirement and focus instead on how you'll get by before your retirement comes. In this video, we'll be giving you 10 simple steps to prepare you for your retirement. Make sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell button so you'll get updates whenever we post advice and tips to guide you to achieve your financial freedom. What are you waiting for? Let's start with step 1. Assess your current financial situation. When it comes to every plan, you first have to understand what state you are in. In this case, you have to know how much money you own, debts you owe, and the expenses you usually spend on. Without assessing yourself first, you are basically swimming into uncharted waters, not knowing whether there is a shiver of sharks underneath, or whether you're swimming into deep, dark, and cold water, or a pool of fire. You have to be aware of your finances or you won't be able to spend your retired life stress-free. You might say that, I just need to save a lot of money to live comfortably. But without carefully monitoring how much you withdraw on a regular basis, you might be living under a single penny before you can even retire. Let's say you have $300,000 worth in your savings. It's a lot of money and you might even think that it would be a blissful life ahead. But what if your annual withdrawal rate is about 5%? That would be $15,000 down the drain per year. So your savings would only last for 20 years. Would you want that? You have to understand that you should not only focus on the figures you have in your savings account or in your paycheck receipt, but you should also consider your loans, expenses, taxes, and other finances. What are your income sources? How much do you spend daily on groceries, taxes, or property? How much do you have left to fully pay your loans? How much more do you have to earn in order to accommodate your future family's expenses? You have to answer all of these questions first and consider all the factors mentioned. With all of these, you will now be prepared to make your retirement plan, which will be our next step. Step 2. Make a retirement plan. When you want something, in your case, having a comfortable retired life, you have to plan for it and create the necessary steps to achieve it. You have to know when you want to retire and what do you envision for yourself in the next chapters of your life. This would give you the groundwork as you direct your life towards your goal and a blueprint for creating the necessary steps you need to take. You can create checklists to help you determine if you are on the right track. If you are going to plan out your retirement, you should also consider your budget. When you stop working, definitely, your budget and expenses would turn out way differently since you have fewer income sources and at the same time, less expenditures because of the new lifestyle. However, since you are retired, you might feel the need to spend more on leisure because who wouldn't want to spend their time peacefully without thinking about work, especially since you've been doing it for many years now. Maybe you want to go to Japan, travel to Europe, or go to other places you haven't visited before. So if you want to experience the joys of life, you might want to consider this in your retirement budget as you go along. Allot a portion of your savings to these wondrous experiences. At the same time, you should also consider emergencies and healthcare into your budget. You may have to avail insurance like Medicare to cover your medical bills, but it may not be enough in some cases. You may also have the need for a household helper because surely, as you get older, there are some things you will struggle to do or impossible for you to accomplish alone, so make sure to allocate a portion of your budget to accommodate these. 3. Setting up your retirement income. Now that you have a clear understanding of what to do before your retirement, you also have to know how you would sustain yourself through your retirement income. Where would you get this? It may be obvious, but many people would take this for granted. You should know what accounts you could draw, record, and examine guaranteed income sources such as Social Security, pensions, and existing annuities. You may also want to consider combining your financial accounts to lessen the number of cards you need to keep track of. Many financial advisors would recommend this move so that you can easily check your finances, since it would be a lot difficult and confusing otherwise. But you also have to consider taxes when trying to consolidate your income sources, like selling stocks or mutual funds. You don't want to cause a headache from these when you're already retired. 4. Plan with your loved one. Communication is important, especially when you have a partner in your life. It is important that your spouse also knows about your plans too, since it's a surprise not worth the consequences. Being retired is another chapter in your life that needs a smooth transition. Stopping work to retire may make one feel purposeless, which would in turn lead you to feel more dependent on your spouse. You have to consider when you want to retire. Do you want to retire together? Or do you want to retire at a different time? Without this, it might just lead to a conflict between you and your partner. Do you want that? If you try to delay your retirement a little longer, you'll gain more benefits that will be useful for the both of you in the future, most especially concerning your medical care. 5. Prepare for changes in your lifestyle. Like we said before, retirement comes with a new outlook in life. You may have the urge to treat yourself now that you've thought that you've earned the right after years of hard work. You are tempted to splurge money on trivial things. Retirement is a major part of your life, just like being married or having your children. You'll encounter new issues or questions you need to address. Where will you stay? How do you spend your time? Would you have to work again to meet the day's end? You have to prepare yourself for what life will throw at you. You would be caught off guard if you didn't. You might feel tempted to carelessly spend your money, but remember you have lesser income streams now, so maintain your budget, especially if you want to retire early in your life. This would help you be flexible in numerous situations, whether there are emergencies or not. The money you save will be your biggest ally. 6. Ensure your medical insurance. Do you want to live beyond 60 years? Well, you might want to hear this. Unfortunately, our health becomes more vulnerable as we get older, so we need to be medically treated every time our health deteriorates. And medical care comes with the expense of money, and it's a lot of money. Starting now, realize the value of health insurance and how it can help you pay for your medical bills. It's a bonus if your job includes a health insurance plan. You wouldn't need to avail of a separate one, but securing an additional one is also encouraged, so you wouldn't have to wonder, if half my life is insured already, how about the latter half? Insurance has a lot of benefits to offer, but just applying for it wouldn't keep you away from harm. You have to fully know and figure out how much money is needed to reach your insurance plan, how you will divide your budget so that you can pay for it regularly, and also see the scope or coverage of the benefits because it might not be sufficient to pay off your and your family's medical needs. Even if you aren't close to retiring yet, it is helpful to educate yourself ahead of time. 7. Decide on when to claim Social Security. When you are at a certain age, chances are you'll be applying for Social Security. This would add another income source for your retirement. Like medical insurance, it isn't as easy as it seems to be. You have to be careful when you claim your Social Security benefits, because these benefits are calculated from your earnings back when you're still working, which is the age in which you first file for them, and also if your age is exactly at the retirement age, past or beyond that. If you retire too early, you won't be receiving all of the benefits, but you will be receiving this earlier. If you retire exactly at retirement age, you will get full benefits, but it might be too late for you. And if you retired way past your retirement age, you will be receiving bonuses. So you really need to have a good strategy for this if you want to take advantage of the benefits it brings. You have many years to think about this, so it's best to really plan for when you want to retire. 8. Save ahead of time. This might be an obvious one, but this is the most neglected step when you come off retirement. Clearly, if you have money to spare, you'll be more flexible when it comes to scenarios that require a lot of finances. So where are you compared to the average net worth of Americans aged 55 to 64, you might be wondering? Well, according to the Federal Reserve, your expected net worth should be $213,150. Are you up there yet? Don't worry if you haven't reached it yet, since you have more time left to start working on this sum. 9. Review your real estate. As you age, it is important that you review your end-of-life planning. What would happen to your real estate when you approach your end? Who will inherit your assets? You have to ensure that all of these are ready to have a smoother transition to those who will be heirs of your properties. So make sure you have competent attorneys that would help you prepare these documents for you and at the same time can give you advice for any legal concern. Also, in regards to your properties, in some states in the US, they offer reduced taxes to seniors. This would be useful for you if you want to prevent any hindrance to your cash flow. 10. Erase all of your debt as much as possible. You wouldn't want someone always creeping towards you, would you? Well, that's what happens when you flee from your debts. You will always have this feeling that you are being stalked by someone. Ignoring your debts would be a disaster for you, especially when the time comes that you are retired, because of course, a significant amount of your income would be gone, so where would you get the money to repay these loans now? So as much as possible, get out of your debt. Don't let these compounds increase. If you want to know how to pay off your debt, we have a previous video that can solve this for you. Now, do you see yourself retiring months or years from now? Regardless, you have to prepare and invest as early as now to make your retired life the way you imagine it to be. So that's it for this video, financial buddies. If you have any questions or recommendations, feel free to comment them down below. And don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you'll be updated whenever we post new contents that will surely guide you to gain your financial freedom. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy life before and after retirement, financial buddies. See you in the next one. Bye!